I am loving the memes that have DiCaprio in it where he's pointing.
Yeah.
And it's just all the people listing what they see in the trailer. Ooh,
Yeah.
It's like, all right.
All right, welcome to Back Sports and Breakfast. My name is Spencer. This is Hugh, and we're going to be jumping into some news spec, and we're going to be talking about the new Spider-Man trailer that just dropped 3 days ago.
2 days ago.
It broke the record for the most views.
Yeah. It's like last time I looked, it
3.4.
I think it's almost at 400 million.
Yeah, crazy.
That's a lot of views.
Yeah, people were waiting for this, Sony. All right, let's get into some news first.
All right. Some real quick news. Tom Curran is joining the cast of The Flash TV show, a show I no longer watch.
Isn't it season 8?
Yeah, but he's playing Despero, which would be the alien villain from Justice League of America #1.
Yeah.
But that's interesting. I mean, especially if he's got a pink starfish face. I mean,
isn't his origin like 253 or something?
I don't know. That's an old character, and not really a Flash villain. So that's another weird one.
Yeah.
So they announced Old Guard is getting its sequel. Charlize Theron has signed back on, and so that'll show up on Netflix in a couple of years.
Cool.
They released the video for the Midnight Suns video game.
I saw
that. Which is being done by the guys who did XCOM.
Okay.
So it'll be a turn-based
video game.
Superhero video game. And the trailer for it was pretty cool looking.
Yeah. Mitchell was not a fan of the Ghost Rider they chose.
Yeah, they chose Robbie Reyes, I believe.
Yeah, he wanted the
of
original.
Course.
Yeah.
Some other stuff. Shang-Chi. Rotten Tomato score came out.
73.
Last time I looked, it was at 93.
Oh, 93.
Hey, let's just do a check right now.
Yes.
Let's just check.
That comes out the 2nd, right?
Yeah. It comes out, we have it showing at 6 o'clock, I think.
Yeah.
It's sitting at 91%, and it is already certified fresh. That is with 104 reviews in.
Nice.
So
really good.
I'm excited to watch that.
And it's going to be the first movie this year that's not day and date.
Yeah.
So you can't go watch it on Disney Plus. You have to come to the theater to watch it. It means that maybe our movie theater will survive.
Yeah. Yeah. So that'd be cool. I'm excited for that one.
Yeah.
Some other news that just came out just like an hour ago. DC Comics has been hit by delays based on, I'm assuming, delivery and...
So like Diamond No, they're not on Diamond anymore.
No, they're with Lunar.
Lunar.
And themselves. But something happened where they're delaying 27 titles and 6 like omnibus graphic novel collections.
That's a lot of titles.
That is a lot of titles, and one of them, of course, was one I've been waiting for, which is The Long Halloween Special #1 by Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale.
Yeah. Did they delay the Dark Knight Steel one?
I don't know.
I would assume so.
There was a giant list. It was a giant list, but that was the one I specifically saw the Long Halloween one in there. And I was like,
because it was supposed to come out near Halloween, which was going to be awesome.
It was going to come out on the 19th of October. Now, hopefully, this delay is only a week, and so it still comes out.
Be on
maybe.
Halloween?
If not, releasing it will be pretty lame.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I can say both my shops that I went to pick up books, I didn't get any DC books this week because they were delayed at both locations.
I got mine today.
So,
I mean, not today. I got mine Wednesday.
Yeah. So DC is definitely having
problems.
Right. So they need to get their stuff together fixed. So yeah, that's just a story that just started, so there's probably more to it.
Right. We just don't know. It got released today that there's some problems. So.
Bright and early this morning. So hopefully they figure out their problems.
Cool.
You got Substack, anything?
Nothing on Substack, I don't think. They've kind of keep on going with their stuff. That nothing's changed on any of the forums on there. I don't think anyone else has added. You did tell me that you found out how much Nick Spencer got for...
I just a rumor of what I heard he got paid.
Right.
And I don't know if we should spread rumors, but it was a lot of money.
Yeah.
It was over $500,000.
Wow.
Now that could be for 5 years or something. I don't know.
It could be over a period.
Yeah, it could be over a period of time that they're going to pay him.
Gotcha.
But like I said, when all that happened, the first thing I said is all those people that signed up got a big old fat check.
Yep.
So,
especially, I would assume James Tynion got a decent check because he had to leave. He left Batman, which is I would assume very lucrative.
No, it's not.
Well, I mean, like, it's a consistent work.
It's consistent work, and
a long time,
and it puts your name out there. That's why you do Batman.
Right. It's a title that a lot of probably writers hope to get someday, but maybe don't.
Joshua Williams. Oh, that's other news. They announced the new writer for Batman. It's Joshua Williams.
Okay.
So, but I think he's writing all the books at DC now. So, because they lost all their writers.
Well, and dude, we just got previews for Donny Cates' Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting 3 or 4 covers for it.
Yep.
That Peach Momoko one that got released.
Yeah.
Is awesome. I
love
it's
pretty
that
cool
one.
looking.
It's pretty cool. I think that's going to be an iconic Hulk cover for sure.
Yeah, it's a cool cover. I do love me some Momoko.
Yeah. Anything else on your front, or?
That is all my news.
Okay.
The delay thing was like the big one, and that happened this morning, so I don't have all the information.
Right. Okay. I don't think I have anything on my front. Substack's just kind of being Substack right now. No one's added. It got added to it. As far as I know, I think we had already talked about it, but someone was saying that they're gonna try to make a universe, maybe, with some characters or whatever. But I don't know.
It's weird.
Yeah, it's kind of referring back to what you were talking about with that other group where they were trying to make a universe with all these characters. Yeah, so maybe they're trying to do a cross-gen thing again. I don't know. It's something that I heard through the grapevine that they are planning on maybe doing a universe thing.
Oh, I did download Whatnot.
Yeah.
The Whatnot app. I had not messed with it.
I have it. I had it for a while.
I started messing with it the other night, and I started watching some. I didn't buy anything. I just started watching some auctions. It's different. I'll give them that.
I've bought from a couple people now.
Yeah.
And in some ways I prefer it, and in some ways I don't. The reason being is, like, a lot of people do it by auction. You can do a buy it now.
Right.
But the auction thing is interesting. I kind of like this feature, but also at the same time I don't. Is basically if you put a new bid on, it resets the timer to 15 seconds or whatever. Right. So then another person can put in a bid, and it's like, well, like, what? There's not really a way to snipe, really.
Right.
Which, like, it's kind of fun to snipe sometimes. Be like, boom, I'm gonna grab it last minute.
Right.
But you can't, because then it resets the timer. That's why I didn't get one of the books one time.
I did, going through the books that I saw selling, I did see that they were definitely selling under the price of where you would get them on eBay.
Yeah.
So
in some cases, I think sometimes it can go over, or sometimes they're just books that it's just like, this is really not worth much, but you buy it anyways.
I saw an auction where a guy was like, he just starts putting out books, and you bid, and he keeps adding books, so you keep bidding, and maybe this, and like, you know, like $3 book, $3 book, $3 book, and then $20 book, and then $25 book, and then $50 book, and people are like boop 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 bidding on it, and it's like, it's interesting.
It's a smart way to kind of hype it up.
Yeah.
I've seen, I think they call them bundles or whatever
Yeah.
on some people's things. It's like, all right, we're going to do a bundle. Let's do it. Book number 1. And then people start buying book number 2.
I know Joel was watching, is it the Spider-Man booth or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
He was watching them, and I think he bought one of their boxes. And they do a thing where you buy the box and they open it for you
Yeah.
and show you what you got.
Yeah.
That was interesting.
I have one problem with it though. Is if you're not like, I think that they had an amount of people that they wanted to sign up originally for this new thing. It is a new option. The live thing is a new thing that they're doing on the app.
Right.
So obviously they don't have enough bandwidth to like just allow everyone to do it right now.
Right.
But they had like, you now have to sign up if you want to like, you know,
Right.
be able to use that feature, which for comic book guys, that is the only feature that will allow you to sell comic books on there.
Right.
Because Funko Pops, you can scan in the code or the barcode,
Yeah, the QR code.
and then you can then have your Funkos on there. But you can't do that with comic books, and there's no way of just taking a picture and then putting it up on there.
That's also a good way to keep people from selling something that isn't comic book related.
Right.
Because unlike eBay, you're on there
Solely for
you're on there live.
yeah.
So
Well, so I submitted. I did the whole like form, and
Right.
it's been like 2-3 months, and I still haven't gotten any word on anything. They haven't even been like, "Hey, we got your email or whatever. We're gonna look at your
Like-
thing or whatever." It's just nothing.
then maybe you should send them another email and go, hey,
Yeah, I think I will.
I sent you an email today.
But I was talking to some guys I would message on while they were doing it live, and just being like, "Hey, how long did it take you to get verified or whatever on
Right.
your?" And they're like, "Yeah, it took me like 3 or 4 months or whatever." So I think their turnaround time is pretty long.
Yeah.
But
It's a way to make sure you don't end up with somebody on there who, puts a sex worker on their camera or something,
right,
Because I'm sure they don't have people watching auctions at 1 a.m.
yeah. But yeah, I think it's an interesting app. I think it could be potentially the way things move. Apparently,
eBay,
a lot of people think that because there's a lot of people going over there.
well, eBay has its problems.
eBay does have its problems.
With non-payment and getting books that don't look exactly how they look in the people who use stock images, which is one of my pet peeves.
Right.
It's like, well, you used a stock image and then you sent me a book that didn't look anything like it was near mint.
Right, or they'll take a picture way far away and they won't do detailed
Right.
photos. So it's like, I don't know what this line looks
You click
like.
on it and it's like uber blurry. Just
Yeah.
and you're like, I can't make anything out.
I've gone burnt a couple times, but who hasn't? Let's move on to let's do spec,
Okay.
and then we'll go and do what we're gonna buy next week.
Okay. Let's see here. So on the spec side, of course, if you haven't gotten it already, you're screwed. But Oblivion Song number 1.
How much is that book going for now?
It's $40.
A $40 book now. So like 3 days ago, it was a $10 book, and now it's a $40 book.
Yeah. You could get it for like $7. But yeah, now it's like up to 40. I mean, you put a, if they hadn't announced it and it hadn't been a major star, it wouldn't have burst the dam like that.
But didn't Robert Kirkman say that he wasn't going to do an Oblivion Song number 1 reprint ever or whatever? He said something like that when it first came out.
But they're out there, and so, and you got the one with the pink name at the bottom, the pink signature at the bottom.
That he did, yeah.
But you put Jake Gyllenhaal in the movie, and boom, explosion.
Yeah. Is it going to be a movie or?
It's
TV
Jake
show?
Gyllenhaal. He's not going to do a show. It's got to be a movie.
Sure.
I doubt he's going to do a TV show.
It'd be impressive if they got him.
Another one, Ironheart. If you haven't gotten it,
Is it too late now?
it's too late.
Really? I feel like there's still.
Even on that issue where she just goes to Wakanda, which is a later issue,
Yeah.
those are selling for $150.
Yeah.
That was a $5 to $10 book
Yeah.
a couple weeks ago.
Well, I heard that she signed up and it's like a 15.
She's got a 12 picture deal.
Yeah. That's a lot.
and she's in Black Panther 2.
Yeah.
So she's
So as far as we know, she's in 2 of them so far.
she's going to be some sort of best friend of Shuri.
Right, which Shuri's probably going to become Black Panther.
Correct. So you're going to get Black Panther and
So this is the new duo.
Well, I think you're going to form some sort of Young Avengers or just the Avengers. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think they're honestly. They're kind of getting to the point where it's like there's not really anyone from the original team. You got Thor.
Yeah, and Hawkeye still,
And
but we'll
Hawkeye.
see if what
I don't
his.
think Hawkeye's going to stay around.
Well, we'll see what happens to him at the end of the Hawkeye show.
Right.
But
But that's it, right? That's
You got
those are the only
Hulk.
2. Hulk.
Get Hulk, and he's going to be in
and
She-Hulk.
Ant-Man, which he wasn't really an Avenger.
Yeah, he wasn't really in the original Avengers. Another one, we'll just keep going through movie spec comics. One More Day and One Moment in Time Amazing Spider-Man books.
Good luck.
Good luck. Those were under $10 books. The best part about those books, and I always buy them when I see them, because I'm a big Joe Quesada fan, and I love his art. And those covers for all those books are just awesome. So
Even though the storyline kind of
the storyline is
was dumpy.
still waiting for them to retcon it, but
Please.
and maybe that'll happen.
Big Spencer, you're
Maybe
getting
that'll
there, man.
happen. Maybe that'll
Hopefully.
happen before Spencer walks out the door.
Hopefully, man.
So we'll talk a little bit more about those later on when we
Right.
talk about our main topic. Afterlife of Archie. I've been putting together a couple of sets of that.
Afterlife of Archie.
Afterlife with
What's
Archie.
the spec there? Just good series
I
or
hope
Riverdale?
I hope they turn it into a show.
Okay.
Now you already have the Sabrina show on Netflix,
Right.
which is based off of this Afterlife of Archie universe,
Okay.
kinda. Where she's
I do not
like,
know the Archie universe at all.
and
so-
then in Afterlife of Archie, Jughead, his dog, Hot Dog, gets hit by a car and dies.
Okay.
He takes his dog to Sabrina and says, "I know you have magic. I know. Can you fix Hot Dog?" So she
Okay.
fixes Hot Dog, brings him back to life.
Revives him.
Hot
Cool.
Dog bites Jughead.
Okay.
Jughead becomes a
werewolf?
zombie.
Oh, a zombie.
And because he has a crown on his head, of course, it looks like he's the king of the zombies.
Hey, there you go.
And the show and the comic basically becomes The Walking Dead, but in the Archie universe with the Archie characters.
Okay.
It's pretty good.
So it's just like this is a good series. You should pick
It's a
it
good
up.
series. I've been picking
It
them up.
could be spec worthy.
There's a lot of variant covers that are worth money. So, getting all those.
Gotcha.
Scarface photo covers, IDW. By the way, I did not know that book existed, but I saw it on another comic book channel's show. Scarface with Pacino.
Yeah.
Al Pacino. IDW did a Scarface comic, like a long time ago, like over a decade ago. And each book had a variant photo cover from the movie.
Oh, okay.
And they're out there. I mean, it's just never a book that I thought was like, I never spotted it before.
Wow.
But somebody brought it up
So it
on a
should be
show.
like a low print run thing, right?
And I have no idea, but I know I bought a bunch.
Nice.
Off eBay. But they're cool.
Cool.
And I was like, that's the kind of spec stuff that, like I always say, those photo covers and stuff.
Right.
Pick them up. Right now, like all the Amazing Spider-Man movie photo cover books are all going.
Well,
You know.
like of Tom Holland or just?
No, any of them.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Oh, yeah, because there's
Yeah.
potential that they're all three going to
Yeah.
be in there.
Uh,
I saw someone do a rendition of. I guess this is getting into our topic, so I'll wait. I'll wait.
so Dan Stevens covers. I've been picking
Dan
up.
Stevens covers.
Yeah.
We'll throw some up on here.
He does a kind of he had a style in the 80s. He's probably most famous for doing The Rocketeer.
Oh, okay.
But he has a couple of covers that are just really good. DN Agents, Crossfire, I think Alien Encounters. He just did a lot of books for like First and Eclipse and a couple other. They're all older covers. He did Spirit. He did a lot of Spirit. So I've been collecting up his stuff just because I like his artwork. And then the big one I've been going after is Darwin Cook covers.
We'll put some of those up too.
Most people know Darwin Cook as the guy who created DC New Frontier.
Right.
So he has like a 1950s style.
Okay.
He did something you hate.
I hate.
Yeah. Something you absolutely hate. He did a run of DC books where the covers are turned.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm not a fan of horizontal covers.
yeah, and there were some that I did not know he did. I never saw them before. He did a He-Man Eternity War cover
Okay.
that I'd never seen before. I was like, that's a Darwin Cook He-Man cover.
Cool.
So I've been specking on a lot of it. He did a lot of like smaller books, off books.
Gotcha.
And so I've been picking up any of those I can find on the cheap. He did a JLA Dark one I really liked.
Gotcha.
And then, like I said, I've been picking up Spirit and some Rocketeer.
Nice.
Matter of fact, through I think Golden Age Guru, I got some Rocketeer books, and I think he did the covers on them. So
I guess I could share some of the stuff I'm hunting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not necessarily like, I'm not a huge spec guy like this guy. I'm kind of more of I like to hunt for what I want. If I see something that I know is going to be worth money, I'll pick it up. Not necessarily because I care for it, but because like, hey, I can make some bucks to then go buy something I want, right?
Right.
Which is the whole name of the game. I'm a huge horror guy when it comes to like the old Frank Frazetta, Neil Adams covers.
so funny considering you don't really like horror movies.
I know. I've been watching more though recently. I'm starting to get into the whole heavy metal, creepy, Conan covers, like the Conan magazines,
Right.
stuff like that. Those are huge on my list. Obviously the Marvel horror line, the DC horror line. I'm a huge House of Mysteries, House of Secrets fan. Love those covers. So that's kind of what I hunt for. We had talked in the last video. I did just come back from Montana about 3 days ago. And I was hunting for some stuff. I know you went to that kaiju thing from Things from Another World.
Yep.
I don't think did you pick up anything there?
Yeah, a little small stack.
Yeah, but nothing crazy.
No, nothing.
So I found the biggest find I found in Montana was I went to an antique store and kind of just wandered in, looked around, was trying to find some stuff. Found some stuff. The biggest thing I found was a West Coast Avengers 93, I think it is, or 94. It's the first appearance of Jim Rhodes as War Machine.
Right.
Which is like a $60 book right now, and I got that for $3 at this place. So that was a good find. I found some X-Men, nothing huge though, and I was just kind of like, okay, cool. So that's kind of all I hunted for. I do have a story though. I was talking to this guy, and I'd been talking to him for about a week before I went to Montana. I was like, hey man, I'm gonna be in Montana. I see your listing on Facebook Marketplace, like. I know you're buying and selling books all the time. Like, would you want to like meet up somewhere? We can meet up at the comic book shop in town or whatever. Up to you. We can do whatever. And we were kind of having a conversation. We started talking about books we were interested in. I was like, okay, I'll bring up some books that you might be interested in. We can do some trades. About an hour before this happened, this was gonna happen, I texted him. I was like, hey man, just wanted to confirm we're doing it this time. We're good to go. He said, yeah, we're good. I have one thing I need to do real quick, and then I'll be there. Then I'll be where we're going. I showed up, no show. Ghosted. Immediately ghosted. And then I texted him. I was like, hey man, here. Just want to make sure like everything's good. Nothing. So I went back to my parents' place, and I was like, okay. So I texted him. I was like, hey man, if it didn't work out today, let's do it some other time. And he didn't ever respond. So wow. Okay. So that kind of bummed me out. I kind of dropped some other contacts in favor of this guy, and it just didn't happen. So,
It sucks.
yeah. So I think that's all for spec though. we're gonna move on to the books we want to get next week, which is gonna be these books are gonna come out September 1st, 2021.
Maybe.
If they're DC books, yeah, sure. I'll go off first. So, Dark Ages, number 1. There's a Scotty Young one that I want. It's Spider-Man with like a blue background.
Yeah.
It's all like silhouetted.
I
I'm a
already
huge
have-
Scotty Young fan.
I already
now.
have mine FOC'd.
Yeah, same.
I, of course, also am going to get Dark Ages number 1. That looks really cool. I'm going to go with Bad Idea has a book coming out. They have 2 coming out on September 1st. Lot number 3, which, of course,
Right.
I've been liking. But they have a new one called Pirate Queen. That's spelled Pyrate Queen. Pirate Queen number 1.
Okay.
I saw some of the interiors of it. Looks interesting. So
Is that part of the final 5?
that is. It's the second one of the final 5.
We had already talked about passive and aggressive.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
also, I did not find an aggressive
Really?
Red Montana. And I found the map. A Bad Idea on their Twitter page found they posted a map
Yeah.
of where you could find passive and where you could find aggressive.
Yeah.
Passive was all like basically cut the United States in half. West side, all passive. East side, all aggressive. So, but there were more shops. They had little blips,
Yeah.
and there were more shops on the east side, obviously,
Right.
of places
Than
where
on
you
the
could
west
buy
side,
them.
yeah.
And there was like, I think a grand total of like 5 or 6 or something ridiculous. There were a couple in California. There was like one in Wyoming.
And then there's like 5 or 6 here.
yeah, that's it. I don't even think all the shops here get them, so I think
They
it's just
don't.
some of the main ones.
So Pirate Queen, number 1. What else you got?
I got Firepower. I forgot the number. It's just Firepower. I think it's 14 or 15 now.
Iron Fist.
Yep.
The redo.
Still loving it though.
Yeah. I got Sinister War number 4 on my list. It's the final issue of the Sinister War.
Which is going to lead into the last couple books of Spider-Man, right? How many more
Yes.
does he have? Is he ending at 75?
He's got Sinister War 4, and then I think his last issue is. Hold on, I think I have it here. Hold on.
You have 72 there, I think.
72. I believe his last issue is 74
74?
or 75.
That's what I was thinking.
I don't, it's weird because it's. I think they're putting the legendary number back on it for the last issue. I think it's 875.
Oh, so they're going back to that.
So, oh wait a minute, I think this has the loyalty number on it. This is 873. So yeah, he has 2 issues of Spider-Man left and 1 issue of Sinister War.
Gotcha.
And that is all of Nick Spencer's run.
And he's been doing it for years.
Sure.
He has been doing it for years.
I guess.
Okay.
It's been so slow paced a book I don't remember.
Yeah. I talked about this last week. It didn't come out this week. So we're putting it on the list again because there was not much coming out.
Here's that cool cover again.
Wonder Girl number
Right here.
3.
And so both those covers for issue 3 are great.
Yeah, I think I like cover B more.
Yeah,
than
cover B is pretty
number-
cool. I like both.
cover A.
I have a affinity for books that have word bubbles on them.
Oh, okay.
So her saying like "Who are you?" or whatever on the cover, I was like, I like those. That's how they used to make books,
Yeah.
like in the 50s and 60s. They all had word
Yeah.
bubbles.
Well, Scotty
characters
Young has
talking.
a ton of word bubbles on
Right.
his. Like basically a whole line of
Old school.
dialogue. You're up next.
Okay, so did that one. I did that one. If it comes out next week, Infinite Frontier 5.
Is this the last one?
I think there's one more.
Okay.
I think, but it's been a series I've been enjoying, and I don't exactly know where this story's going, so I generally like that.
Yeah.
Where I'm like,
Where you can't predict it.
where I don't know exactly where it's going to end on the last page.
Gotcha.
So Infinite Frontier 5.
I got Extreme Carnage, that run that's going on right now. Toxin.
Right. Who's now a kid.
Yeah, that happened in when Silence happened in
Yeah.
Lasher.
Right. So I've got.
I think. Yeah. Maybe I'm wrong there. I don't know.
I think he got it earlier on. I don't remember. Maybe in the very first one, Extreme Carnage Alpha or whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
I got Lucky Devil #2 from Dark Horse Comics. I enjoyed that first issue immensely, and I really loved that final panel. So, on that book
Of the Lucky Devil.
Yeah.
Is
so
that the one where he's in the?
He's in the AA meeting or
Yeah.
whatever, and he's basically recruiting them or something. I don't know, but
I think this is a mini series, so it's like 5 issues.
yeah, it is. So I don't know what's happening, but that final panel makes me want to see what's going to happen in issue 2.
Yeah.
So what else you got?
I got Fear State Alpha #1.
Yeah.
If it comes out, we'll
Yeah.
see. DC.
I'm assuming all those books I'm assuming are all done.
Gotcha.
James Tynion.
Oh yeah. So Fear State Alpha, it's going to be the arrival of a mysterious anti-oracle and a return of Poison Ivy. So mysterious
We're gonna
oracle.
get
Cool.
We're gonna get the 2 tree people fighting each other. Poison Ivy and what's the other lady's name? The gardener,
Yeah.
where she has like the bush dogs or whatever made out of leaves and sticks and stuff. Whatever. Okay, cool. I put a weird one on here just because Scout Comics is putting out a book called Mullet Cop. So Mullet Cop #1 comes out this week.
Is it a cop with a mullet?
It is just a cop with a mullet.
Nice.
And it has kind of like Bob's Burgers like art to it.
Gotcha.
So, Mullet Cop #1. I'm going to give that a read.
Nice. Okay, so and then my last one is Last Ronin #4. I have been reading it.
Is that the last one? Or is there
don't
one more?
think so. I think there might be one more. I don't like that they were a weird size,
I still hate that.
but at the same time, it was a good read. So that's what I got for my list.
All right.
Let me just pull that up real quick. Let's get on to the books we read this week. Top 5. I'll start off.
Okay, you start.
So, Die #19.
Only one issue left?
1 issue left. I love that they're ending it on 20.
Yeah.
Because then it's a D20. They ended
Right.
it on 20. So it's 1 issue left. I'm not going to say anything because this is kind of ramping up to the end. So I don't want to say anything because it's basically like it's just like gigantic spoilers.
Love
all the
those
way
covers,
through.
though.
So it's probably impossible to find the whole run now, issue-wise, especially #1.
You get the first 6 issues or 5 issues for $9.99.
Yeah.
In the trade.
So I would suggest picking up the trades if you can. If not, just wait until like a couple months from now and then just pick up it in like a big cover.
You
book.
can't beat that first trade by Image.
Yeah, you can. It's just $10. That's
$10,
easy.
get 5 issues.
Yeah,
I think
it's
they're
great.
generally 5 or 6 issues.
Yeah.
That's good. It's a good way. It's like giving
Good
out
marketing
It's a good
strategy.
drug. This first one's free. So let's see here. It's been a while, and it's
It
gonna
has been a while.
and it's gonna be a long while until the next one.
How long?
The back of the issue says November 3rd.
Yay.
So I guess this is now a bi-monthly comic.
It's bi-monthly comic.
Yes.
Because Scotty Young is.
Scotty Young,
He's a
Berto
busy man.
Ramos, Strange Academy #12. I love that book.
Yeah.
I've loved every issue of that book.
Yep.
This book is
Harry Potter meets the Marvel Universe.
yeah, and this one's about Calvin and his jacket, which is actually what a Mr. Despair or whatever. I don't know if you read it.
I did not read this one.
Okay.
Not yet.
So they're fighting the coat. And we get a couple of cool little
Is it
reveals.
kind of like the Doctor Strange coat thing?
It's the one from the I believe it was Donny Cates' run.
The Domination run or whatever?
It was the one where we find out that Doctor Strange has been storing all of the sorrow of the world when he catches it, and he's been putting it in his basement
Okay.
until it was too much and it gets out.
Gotcha.
And that was a good series.
It's like a Domination Tarnation or something?
You also got to learn a lot about Wong in that series. That was a good series. It was right in there it was right after the Loss of Magic arc,
Okay.
where all the magic was getting destroyed. But this book, you cannot go wrong with this book. It's easy to read.
Find the trade.
It's aimed at. I would say it's aimed at a younger audience, but it works for an older audience too. And it puts a smile on your face when you're
reading it.
Right. It's Scotty Young. He seems to always want to make the reader go home with a smile kind of thing, or
right.
Ooh. And so it's good. It's good.
I got Thor number 16. This is a very misleading cover.
Yeah.
Because they
didn't want to put the front page on that cover again because it's a little redundant.
But it's a good. It's been good. It's continuing to be good. There's a reveal at the end of 2 characters that are coming into this, and
they've been around. I don't know where they've been.
Right, exactly. So.
Also, we get the nightmare thing at the beginning again. They're leading up towards that cover of Thanos with the hammer. So,
which will probably be the second printing if it happens.
Yeah, that'll be the second print. We'll just keep running with it. Now, the last panel will be the last page will be the cover.
Right.
So,
where's your hammer, boy?
Where's your hammer, boy? So I talked about these characters. They were in the Avengers the last 2 months, and of course we had the movie,
right?
Black Widow. So it's kind of good timing. I think they missed it by about a month,
just a little bit, yeah.
But this is Winter Guard number 1. I like these characters. It's in this book. It's the new Winter Guard. There's a bunch of some newer characters and stuff.
Yeah,
it's like a Russian Thor.
Yeah,
and and you get Ursa Major, and you get all them, and they're hunting Red Guardian and Yelena Belova, and it was good. I like I said, I've enjoyed learning the powers of the characters from the Winter Guard and to see what's going on, and maybe it looks like there's some dissension in the Winter Guard. Maybe there's a traitor, or maybe they're trying to form a Russian version of the Avengers instead of a government-run super team.
Gotcha.
But it was really good. I enjoyed it.
Everyone knew it was going to be on my list.
Yep, shocking.
Something's Killing the Children, number 19. We kind of got so last issue, she went into a trance, and this issue is what that trance was. It was a really quick read, and she just, it's all that happens. It's just the trip fest.
Me interested to see how long that comic goes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You're not a fan anymore? Or?
Oh, I still am. I'm not as
huge.
It's slowly moving down my pile when I put my pile together of what I'm going to read.
Yeah.
So
something needs. I will say something needs to happen. It needs to get kicked back up.
I definitely liked the very first run of the story because I very much like the girl from out of town shows up, dead kids. She can see the monsters. It was a simple idea. And now, because it was a hit, because it sold a crap ton of comics, I don't think it was ever supposed to continue. I think it was supposed to have that arc, and that was it.
Well, his original idea...
No matter what James Tynion says.
Well, his original... he has gone on record and said his original idea for Something's Killing the Children was it was going to be basically a girl shows up, kill the monsters, gets back on the bus at the end of the issue.
Yeah.
And then goes to the next place, kills some monsters, gets back on the bus, moves on.
I don't believe him.
Why?
I just don't.
That's what he said. And this was
I'm
before.
Sure.
This is before the hype.
And George Lucas, at the end of Star Wars, said that he meant to have Princess Leia and Luke Skywalker make out, even though he knew, I guess, supposedly he knew that they were brother and sister. Bullshit.
Okay.
Plans change when things make money.
Okay.
I like I said, I was a really big fan of the book, and then I still read it. I still like it. It just moved down the list because I feel like it is now just a moneymaker for him.
Okay, fair enough.
So, all right. So this book is bonkers. This is okay. So Nonstop Spider-Man number 4. I don't know if you read this.
I stopped reading it.
There is a new bad guy in this book who's like the right-hand man of Baron Zemo.
Okay.
Called Wolf, W-U-L-F, with the dots above the U. And in this book, they truly play them off like they are Nazi, killing people that are not pure of blood type stuff. It's wacky. It is nonstop action, exactly like it says. If you're a guy who's like, I like Spider-Man, I don't always want to deal with Spider-Man's problems. I don't want to always deal with Aunt May and Mary Jane and, he doesn't have any money or anything like that. Well, this is your book, because it is literally, you're just dropped into the middle of a fight and it's go.
Yeah.
And this is bonkers, this issue. Okay. Just crazy. It was great. It was great.
Okay, so you didn't get your DC books. I got my DC books.
I know, sad. I want that comic. I'm going to go pick that up today.
Superman 78.
Love me some Superman from that era.
Christopher Reeve. There's a panel that's really cool. It's
Don't worry. No.
Okay, so like obviously in Superman comics or just movies or whatever, a gigantic thing falls from the sky, he has to fight it, right?
Right.
So something falls from the sky and he has to fight it, but when it falls from the sky, I just really like that there's a panel where there's a guy, there's a hot dog guy, like a hot dog vendor,
right.
and he just is looking over, and the guy that's getting a hot dog from him is also looking over at this big thing, and he's squirting the mustard onto the guy's shirt.
All right, cool.
Which I was just like, okay, this is like, obviously this is kind of like going back to that little campiness of like, and just like kind of like zingers and funniness that it was.
I know 3 or 4 people who have read that book and they all liked it.
I really liked it.
Yeah.
All right.
Now, you like that more than the Batman 89?
I'm gonna say yes.
Okay.
The reason being is
I think they have a better comic book writer on this.
Well, I grew up more with 78.
Who's the writer? Who's the writer on that? Venditti.
Venditti.
Yeah. So they actually have a comic book writer on that. I believe Ham, the guy who writes the Batman one, is actually a screenwriter who wrote the Batman screenplays.
Right.
So, all right.
This is our second last one?
Second to last one for me. I'm going to go with this one last because it'll annoy you.
Okay.
Okay, so let's go with this. Did you read this?
No, I did not read this.
Darkhawk #1. So, Darkhawk. It's a popular character for people right above your age.
Right above my age, okay.
Right. So Darkhawk came out in the 90s.
So 30s.
So people who were in that era, with that stuff. This was a really popular character for kids in the 90s.
Okay.
I hated him in the 90s.
Okay. Do you like him now?
It's in my 5. Because it's not the same guy.
Okay.
I read the one shot that came out a month ago.
Okay.
They did a one shot. And the guy who had the armor, the amulet that turns into the armor, there's like this weird little diamond amulet that you can see on his costume, that turns you into Darkhawk.
Okay.
The guy who was Darkhawk died, I believe, in that one shot. It shoots to Earth, and this comic is about this kid who's a high school kid playing basketball. And it's interesting. And I believe it's only a 5-issue miniseries, but they could literally just turn it into an ongoing, I think.
That might be the pursuit they're going after. So,
kid basketball player, star basketball player, starts to get dizzy and faint. Goes to the doctor. This is all first half of the book. There's no Darkhawk.
Okay.
We find out he falls on the street and cracks his head open. He has multiple sclerosis, and he's getting the spins and stuff from that on the early onsets. In his neighborhood, there have been robberies. And I don't know what happens at the end, but anyway, there's a giant. The Darkhawk amulet comes crashing down, and catches a fire, and he goes running in because he's a basketball star. He's athletic. He goes in there to save some construction workers or whatever. You go this way. It was clear that way. And as he's going, one guy's being held down. and the explosion's going to go off. He sees the crystal, grabs it, becomes Darkhawk. So, new character, 17-year-old kid, has the dark power of the Darkhawk now.
Cool.
So it was interesting, and it gives you that kind of like that Peter Parker, has a problem, now has to overcome that problem and still be a hero. So it's interesting. Yeah, I think everybody, and it's a good jump on point. Anybody could read it, and it's
right.
I don't think you need to know anything else.
Gotcha. Okay. This is Superman, Son of Kal-El number 2.
Great cover.
It is a great.
Is that a Tedesco cover? It's cool. I think it is.
Lee.
Oh, Inhook Lee.
This is. He gets a new secret identity in this, and blows that secret identity in about 5 seconds. And then he feels bummed out, flies up to the moon, and is chilling on the moon, and his dad shows up, and they have a good conversation.
All right, excellent. I'm going to be reading that today, too.
All right. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about this.
Echolands, number 1.
Echolands, number 1. J.H. Williams III. It's a horizontal book.
All horizontal. The
That's
spine
it is not
horizontal.
A horizontal cover. It is a horizontal book. The whole book is horizontal. I know you didn't like it. I love that art. I believe he was the artist on the Detective Comics run of Batwoman.
Okay.
So he has a very dark colored, like painted colored reds and blacks in his books. Well, anyway, it's like Dungeons and Dragons meets
everything.
Yeah, it's a magic book, but maybe she has like psionic magic or something, because she definitely blows some brains up in this comic.
Yes.
There's
it's a 2-page spread
of a brain going. Yeah. But yeah, it was interesting. There were 2 covers for it. I bought both. One with the hero and one with the villain. The art alone will get me to pick up the second issue. Also, the format will get me to buy a second issue just because I think it's cool.
To piss me off.
Yeah. Well, I enjoy anybody who thinks outside the box. So I enjoyed that book.
Right.
So yeah. So Echolands, number 1.
Okay, so that is it for the main segments that we do on the show.
I do have one more thing. We should show off this other Amazing Fantasy. Neither of us picked Amazing Fantasy.
No.
2, but
if it was a different week, it would have been on.
Care Andrews. Man, you do some great covers, man. And I really enjoyed the book. I thought it was great. The guy just I believe he does all the covers.
I don't know if he does all of them.
I think he does all the covers. I think there was a Momoko cover this month for this issue. It was like a Black Widow.
Did
cover.
you see in the previews the
Oh, yeah.
one
Oh yeah.
where Spider-Man's on a freaking dragon or something?
More importantly,
And it's just his mask, and then he's like bare-chested, and he's just like, yeah.
he posted a cover, the alt cover B to issue 5.
Okay.
And it is an homage to the TSR Marvel superhero role-playing game.
Oh, cool.
It's cool. Okay.
Okay, so the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer dropped.
Yeah, it did. 400 million views.
Yeah. We got to see Doc Ock from Spider-Man 2.
De-aged Alfred Molina. Yeah.
Yep.
We saw Pumpkin Bomb.
We saw Pumpkin Bomb. We saw some
Lightning.
yellow lightning.
Yeah.
And someone saw some dirt and thought maybe Sandman.
Yeah. I am loving the memes that have DiCaprio in it where he's pointing.
Yeah.
And it's just all that people listing what they see in the trailer. Ooh,
Yeah.
It's like, all right, that's a reach. But
And then
sure.
someone was like, Lizard, and just there for a second. And I was like, oh gosh, here we go.
That's Daredevil's arm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely Charlie Cox's arm. So there's a lot of speculation on what is happening in that
Well,
trailer.
we can talk about the comics. I pulled up the list, and you can add some if you want.
Yep.
So like we talked about, it's the One Moment in Time books.
Yep.
Especially the Amazing Spider-Man 641.
That's
It's
the
that negative
negative
space one.
Yeah. By Crusetta, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I think he does all the covers.
Yeah. And then Spider-Man 50, because there's spec that Kingpin's going to be there. We'll see.
Sure.
Amazing.
With the 400 other villains that are in the movie.
Yep. Amazing Spider-Man 656.
Yeah.
It's the debut of that armor that we see for a second.
Yeah.
Apparently, first appearance of Kraven, Amazing ASM. I'm not gonna keep on saying Amazing Spider-Man. ASM 15. Tales of Suspense 45. First appearance of Virginia Pepper Potts. Apparently, she might make an appearance too. Sure.
I don't believe that, but okay.
Obviously, Strange Tales 110.
But we definitely see Happy Hogan
Yes.
in the trailer.
Yes. So again, Strange Tales 110, obviously Doctor Strange. ASM 14, Green Goblin. ASM 20, ASM Annual Number 1. That's a gigantic book now. It already was because
Is
it
that
was
the
a white
first
cover.
Sinister Six?
Yeah, so it was a white cover, so it was
Yeah.
hard to get in good grade, and it was that thicker spine. ASM 9, Electro, ASM 3,
Doc Ock.
Doc Ock. And then Amazing Spider-Man 257, first appearance of Puma. Jeez Louise. First appearance of Ned Leeds as Hobgoblin.
Right. Because they think
Ned's not going to be.
Well, maybe you get an alternate reality. Ned
Sure.
Leeds.
First appearance of, and then, yeah, ASM 18, first appearance of Ned Leeds. Daredevil 1, Daredevil.
I do not think Daredevil will be in the movie, but I believe there's a chance Matt Murdock is in the movie.
Ultimate Fallout number 4. We're not sure. Why not?
Nice
Whatever.
end teaser to the movie is Miles Morales shows up, sure.
And then, obviously, Amazing Fantasy 50.
Right.
So there's a lot of books. A lot of those you are not allowed. Not allowed is not the right word. You cannot own unless you have a gigantic load of money somewhere.
Right. I think if all of these characters show up, it is going to be for a very limited amount of time.
Yeah. Sinister Six is even hard to do. That's so many freaking characters.
How much of that trailer is manipulated? I think all
A lot of it.
I think a lot of it is manipulated.
I don't think we're going to see 90% of that.
Tom Holland came out and said that was just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
Right. Because I do believe Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are in that movie.
Yeah.
And I believe the scene where you see Alfred Molina and they cut back and forth between Tom Holland and Alfred Molina and he goes, "Hello, Peter." I believe he's talking to Tobey Maguire.
Yeah, he's not talking to our
Tom
Peter.
Holland. Yeah. What are you talking about? Our Peter.
Whatever, dude. the current dude.
The current Peter. I definitely think we're gonna get 3 Peters. I think we're.
Well, why not?
Yeah.
Like, you literally have...
People will freak out if they're not gonna keep it secret.
It's already out,
before that
kinda.
trailer comes out. Before that movie comes out, we will get a trailer that'll show all 3 Spider-Men,
Maybe.
and people will freak out.
Yeah.
They're already freaking out over this. 400 million views. Is that Doctor Strange in the trailer?
I think it
Or is it Mephisto?
No, come on.
I think it could be.
What? Why? How? You got Wong literally walking out of a portal.
Walking through a portal, leaving,
Yeah.
going to Shang-Chi.
Yeah, I know. He's going on vacation.
Mephisto's powerful enough to overtake Doctor Strange for a while.
Sure, but and confuse Wong, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay, cool.
It just, the wink and then we're going to try this super dangerous spell, knowing full well you're Peter Parker and you're going to mess it up somehow.
Yeah, just because, like, I don't know. Also, Doctor Strange, like, he wouldn't take that risk, I don't think, because his whole arc.
I mean, he was texting and driving in the first movie.
Okay. Okay, texting and driving, and then
broke all of his
changing the
fingers.
universe.
I'm just saying he's not the smartest person on the planet.
No, but look, the guy in Avengers Endgame and stuff is like, I'm not going to allow you to try to break the universe or whatever.
Right.
So
again, if that is if that is true, then that character in the trailer is Mephisto.
Right.
So, again, I'm not sure. I don't know, and I'd rather not know. I'd rather be surprised in the theater when it happens. But the movie is going to be
I'm hoping
a ginormous hit.
Yes, I'm hoping I won't be disappointed.
Did you not like the trailer?
I finished it and I was like, so because you're a dumbass, we have this movie.
Right.
I'm like, don't.
I'm not
really?
gonna lie. I
was like, why in the world? Seriously, we're having this whole thing. Like, you have Iron Man, you have all these guys, like with you have a bunch of people with a ton of connections, with a ton of money or we could even just pull the whole classic Daredevil thing. Hey, can you swing around in my suit for a second? and then be like, hey, that's Spider-Man. That's not me. Look.
And who says they're not gonna do that?
I know. I'm just saying, look, it just sounds ridiculous that he's like, I have no other way of doing this. I can't contact anyone. I'm not part of really the Avengers or whatever. I don't have anyone's phone number. I have to walk down the street, talk to Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange is like, yeah, sure, we're going to do this gigantic spell that might break the universe. Why not? It makes no sense.
Wong tells him not to do it. If I was
Wong, I would have locked the freaking basement before I left.
I was okay with the trailer. I thought the trailer was a little all over the place.
It was.
But I was okay. I was okay with that because it appeared they had to get that trailer out.
Because it got leaked, right?
Well, no, they had to get that trailer out because people were starting to get pissed off.
Yeah.
This is the shortest window between a Spider-Man movie opening, and a trailer coming out. So, I hope it's good.
This will be the first time we ever get this will be the second time we get a third Spider-Man movie.
Yeah. The last one was awful. The last one put a nail in the Sam Raimi coffin for his movies. Hey, Sam Raimi, though, making Doctor Strange 2. Maybe because the guy who's directing Spider-Man 3 is going to be directing Fantastic Four. Maybe Sam Raimi jumps back over and does Spider-Man 4.
Some people are saying that Sony's taking back their property.
Some people are. I don't know about that. I think if they take back... I think if they were smart, they'd have their cake and eat it too. I think they would leave Tom Holland Spider-Man in the MCU. And then
hire someone else?
No, yeah, hire somebody else for Spider-Man and
or just have Andrew Garfield or Tobey Maguire come back,
or that, and have Sam Raimi do episode 4 of that series with Tobey Maguire. I don't know if you can afford Tobey Maguire right now, and then, but you could also introduce Miles Morales at the very end of the movie and have Miles in the Sony Spider-Verse.
You know what I want to see? A cartoon character. Like the Spider-Verse cartoon character interact with.
I mean,
have that kind of Space Jam.
I think you could have that happen in maybe Doctor Strange 2. I think you could get a flash of cartoon or something as they're going through realities. I'm not gonna lie. I thought Scarlet Witch will have broken the multiverse.
Yeah.
That's how I thought we were going to get all this to happen.
And then in Loki, we got...
I did not think we were getting one moment in time, one more day.
Okay, what a lot of people are saying is that basically when they went downstairs and they decided to do this, that was not part of the original timeline. So then they became variants.
One of the things it could be, and this will be the thing that will piss off fans, is there's a great comic book where it's in a Marvel Fanfare, issue 6. It has Scarlet Witch on the front cover, I think. But Doctor Strange when you're the Sorcerer Supreme, you can be challenged. And if you get beaten in combat, in magic combat, by somebody, they become the Sorcerer Supreme. So Kid shows up at Doctor Strange's house. Boom. Let's do it. Takes him to a room. Room's all, of course, that Escher painting come to life. They do some magic. Guy beats Doctor Strange, becomes the Sorcerer Supreme.
Okay.
Or does he? Because really then all he does is learn is a door opens up and goes, I challenge you! And he's like, what? And he's fighting the guy, and another door opens up, I challenge you! And then 100 doors open up, and they're all pointing at him, I challenge you! And it's just Doctor Strange showing this young wizard, this young magic user, how hard it is to be the Sorcerer Supreme. So what if Doctor Strange is manipulating Peter Parker to show him that altering history and changing
So
things,
the whole thing is just a fake. It's a fake out.
or at least the beginning of it is a fake out. Like him showing Peter, this is what's going to happen if we do this. This could happen. We could wreck reality. I don't know. It's a thing that could happen.
Mm-hmm.
And if it does, boy, people will be pissed off.
Well, it could be part of the movie, and then maybe Loki is then the timeline of timeline of Loki happens, and then it's like, oh well, we didn't break it, but someone else did.
I'm just saying, it's if you end the movie with Doctor Strange, ending it,
and be like, and that's why.
And Peter Parker's standing in front of him, and he's like,
and that's why we don't do that.
He's like, yeah, what happened? Nothing happened, Peter. That will upset people, but it would be funny.
Yeah.
The internet rage. But yeah.
Yeah.
So it could go any way. I think we are going to get a Sinister Six of old villains from the old Spider-Man movies, and you're going to get all three Spider-Men fighting those six villains.
Yeah.
And then reality fixing itself, because we're going to break it again in Doctor Strange 2.
Or it's just going to stay broken.
And maybe a little small piece of it, but Peter's life will be put back
Did
together.
you see the meme of there were two guys eating at like a restaurant, and then there's like a ton of stuff happening behind them, like there's just like explosions and like water's going off, and they keep on eating, and it's Sam Wilson and Bucky Barnes.
Yeah. So I'm going to be interested to watch this movie. We're only 3 months away.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy.
Now
We have Shang-Chi, we have Eternals, and we have Hawkeye
Spider-Man
and Spider-Man.
and others, if they don't get pushed back.
I think that the Miss Marvel's gonna get pushed back. I don't think that's how.
Well, there's rumors that Venom might get pushed back.
To 2022. Yeah.
Yeah. They have not announced that, though. That's just somebody guessing, because they don't feel like they showed enough of it at Cinecon. So, yeah.
That doesn't change anything.
I don't know. My movie booker right now is telling me that it is still coming out in October.
Gotcha.
So, and he has access to actual Sony executives.
Right.
So I'm at this point, I'm still assuming it's coming out
In October, right?
Yeah,
Because they did push it back a little bit.
they did push it back a week to get it away from
Shang-Chi. Right?
James Bond.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, because Shang-Chi comes out in September. And I think Venom was coming out second week in October, but James Bond was coming out first week in October. So they pushed it 1 week back to like the 19th.
Give it a little bit of a buffer.
A little more of a buffer away from James Bond.
Gotcha.
So, I don't know. COVID's running all over the place, so I don't know. They can push anything back, and I wouldn't be surprised.
Right.
Been doing it for 2 years now, almost.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, and are you gonna go to Rose City at all?
I might. One day, maybe.
Yeah.
I do want to see Frank Cho.
Yeah. He's like, hey, did I buy these from you?
Yeah. Did I buy these from you? Because they all came from a guy named Cho, and they were all autographed by you. So he's a guy I really like. So I do have a Liberty Meadows #1 that I do want him to autograph. So I might show up just to do that.
Nice.
There aren't any celebrity guests really that I'm like,
You gotta see.
There's a bunch of people that have been here before.
Yeah.
And, like, I think a bunch of the people from The Boys are going to be here.
3 people from The Boys.
Yeah, and I'm like, Boys is okay. I mean, I don't love it, though, but...
Yeah.
So...
Cool.
Now, if that Quaid kid brings his dad with him, then I'll show up and stand in line. Because I love me some Dennis Quaid.
There you go. All right, this has been the Bag Sports Breakfast podcast. Read your comics and have a good rest of your day.